Today on Dr. Phil.
My son's a moocher. As much as I do for him, he is rotten.
You kick him out of the house and move him to the backyard. All that did is you walk further to bring him stuff. You're giving him food, money, cars. You're doing drugs, and it's her fault because she gave you the money to buy them?
Yes.
When's the last time I gave you money?
Right before the show.
She bribed you to come?
Yeah, I did.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
Get ready to take care of you. Would you be surprised if I told you that more adults between the ages of 25 and 34 are living with their parents than ever before? And what if I told you that more men than women are living at home? Would that shock you? Well, get shocked then, because it's true. Reasons for staying or returning to the nest can include financial issues, getting married later, and caregiving for family members. But psychologists also say that people are becoming full adults later these days, and that parents are staying involved longer than before. If you've been watching this week, then you know it's Moocher Week. And today is possibly one of the worst. He's tearing his family apart, but refuses to get up, get out, and get on his own 2 feet. Susan wrote to me not once, not twice, but 9 times, desperate for me to give her some help getting her 27-year-old son, JJ, back on track. Susan claimed her son was a lazy, stealing, unemployed, violent moocher who refused to support himself or his 4-month-old son because he preferred to waste his time lying around, drinking, while she footed the bill. Susan decided enough is enough and kicked him out. Well, sort of. Susan's husband, Stephen, said his wife's version of laying down the law was buying a camper van and relocating JJ from his bedroom to the backyard, where she continued to give him food and money. You can't make this stuff up. Take a look.
My son's 27. He's a leech. He's a moocher. He doesn't work.
Susan is the ultimate enabler.
I don't want to call myself an enabler. I want to call myself helpful. JJ is my baby boy. My husband and I have apartment buildings, and JJ has lived in 2 of our apartments, rent-free, friends over, partying, complaints. We had to kick him out. Last week, they had a 10% off sale, so I got him a pair of sneakers. He did use my car. I did fill it with gas. I paid for the insurance.
She bails JJ out of almost every situation he gets into.
He steals, he robs, he's dishonest. I let him back, and my husband says, no more, no more, no more.
I want him to change because he has a son.
And my husband and I do watch my grandson.
It's absolutely crazy. It drives me insane.
JJ stole my laptop, my diamond ring.
He can get very violent.
JJ's punched many holes in the wall. JJ's kicked doors down. He's thrown stuff. He's hit my husband. I kicked JJ out of the house 2 months ago. I found a camper. I put it on the back of my property.
This is my camper. This is what my mom bought me. It's a complete should be condemned.
My husband said, no more, done, out, he's gone. And here he is. He's ruining my life. And my husband's life, we've had it.
I want him off my property today.
Okay, I just want to jump right into this, okay?
Yep.
And I know you do. You've written to me 9 times, right?
Yes.
So you've probably watched the show at least 9 times.
Every day.
How long have you been watching the Dr. Phil show?
15 years.
15
Since
years?
you've been on Oprah.
Okay, so this is our 16th season, and I was 5 years on Oprah, so you've been watching over 20 years.
Yeah.
Do you have a memory problem? No, I'm serious.
I know.
I'm serious. We were talking about this morning because when I read your letter, you know what I thought about doing? I thought about sending you about 984 DVDs of other shows that I have done about your situation. You know what I'm going to tell you.
I know.
Tell me what I'm going to tell you.
You're going to make me accountable for everything I've done with JJ. And it sounded good at the time, and I know it sounds bad, but after watching that and it comes out of my mouth, it looks horrible.
He says you're an enabler. Enabler is not a big enough word for what you're doing. You kick him out of the house and move him to the backyard. All that did is you walk further to bring him stuff.
I know, but I don't want to see him out on the streets because I don't feel like he's society's problem. I feel like he's my problem.
You can see what I go through. And I mean, I love my wife, and we have a great relationship. But this is like, it just breaks my heart. It breaks my spirit. I have a son that just doesn't get it.
And you love him, right?
And I love him. I love him dearly.
You love your son. And you love your son.
It's obvious.
But yet you're doing things to cripple him.
I am.
But you do realize that what you're doing is to make you feel better, not to make him get better.
I don't think she realizes it, Dr.
I don't
Phil.
think I do either.
Really?
Yep.
No, I don't.
You have to understand, she's the ultimate fixer in our family.
So you're giving him food, shelter, transportation, money. How's that working for you?
It's not, but I get...
No.
Oh,
You can't use but.
okay.
It's not working for you.
It's not working.
He sets the hook and reels you in every time.
I know, which causes a rift between him and I.
Right. But you understand that you do this because you said when he's on the street, he loses 20 pounds and I just feel terrible.
Yeah, I do.
So when you bring him in and fix him a sandwich and put his house shoes on him and put him on the couch, who feels better?
Well, he does too.
I didn't ask you about him.
Oh, well,
Do you feel better?
yeah, I do.
Do you get a sense of, I know he's safe for tonight?
Yes, I know he's home, he's safe, he's not doing naughty things that he shouldn't be doing, he's not stealing from people.
So you feel better
Yes.
in the moment.
Yes, I feel better.
So instead of letting him hit bottom, instead of letting necessity be the mother of invention and forcing him to deal with the reality that he has to do something to make his way through the world, you bring him home, put his fuzzy house shoes on him, give him a sandwich and a remote, put him on the couch.
It's not quite
And you
that
feel
bad,
better.
but...
Oh, it's not?
Not quite that bad.
It is. It really is.
But at least he calls you a whore and a slut and the word for your trouble.
I know, he does. He's rotten. And as much as I do for him, he is rotten. And then I throw him out, and then we're just right back to the same thing.
Because, I've got certain philosophies in life, like one of them is you don't reward bad behavior. That's a pretty fundamental philosophy, right? And the other one was, you don't have to like me, and you can call me a sumbitch, but you're going to do it long distance. I mean, you can call me names, but you're not going to do it from my couch.
Yep.
You can go across the street and yell names at me. You can go across town and yell names at me, but I'll be damned if I'm going to put you on my couch in your fuzzy house shoes that I bought and the sandwich that I made and have you call me names. Now, one of us is a fool, if that makes sense to you.
Yes, it does. I feel like I brought JJ into this world, and I'm his mom, and it's my responsibility to try to get him back on the right track.
Well, why don't you focus on doing that instead of making yourself feel better?
Well, that's why I'm here. I need you to tell me what I'm doing wrong besides everything, because I know that.
Well, no, I just did.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming. We'll be right back. I mean, I just did. I just did. You're doing things, I know you don't like to hear this, but you're doing things to make you feel better at his expense. Because it's not in his best interest for you to continue making it easy for him to do what he does. And you can't make a change now because winter's coming, right?
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with him. I said, winter's coming. And then...
And I just...
And she's been watching 21 years. I'm apparently not very good at this. Well, 27-year-old JJ says if his mother is the ultimate enabler, she needs to do a much better job because her level of service falls way below what he expects. We'll let JJ articulate where she's falling below what he needs when we come back.
My mom, she bought me this camper just to have a place for me to put me. It's almost like being in jail, being in this camper. Jail is actually even better. At least you get, 3 meals a day. I laze around, I sleep all day. I really don't even have the motivation to even really want to work right now.
And later, JJ says that the food in jail would be preferable to his mom's cooking.
That is untrue.
My wife, Susan, has tried to bribe JJ with money.
He said he would do the show if I gave him $20. So I just gave him $20 to shut him up.
You sure you're ready for this?
No, I'm not doing it.
Dr. Phil's gonna be really mad at me.
Well, Stephen and his wife Susan say they've had enough of their 27-year-old mooching son JJ. They estimate the running cost of providing for their son exceeds $60,000 just over the last few years. They say they're not getting much bang for their buck. Quite the opposite, in fact. Stephen says his son has attacked him with a knife, smashed up his home, stolen his car before crashing it. Now, Stephen says he wants his son gone and his wife's enabling to stop. But JJ says if his mom is really the ultimate enabler, she needs to do more to earn that title.
My mom tells me that she's ashamed of me. My mom doesn't care about me. We hardly talk. My mom would say, you're a piece of you're a low-life loser, you're never gonna go anywhere. And what really gets me is when she tells me, I feel bad for your son. My mom's not there right now for me as a mother. She thinks I'm just this guy lazing around, mooching off of her. I need to eat, I need things like that. And that's just so I can get to the next day. She never helped me get a car. I mean, she did. She helped me get my first car, but that was so long ago. I was 15 and a half years old when I got my first car. She bought me this camper just to have a place for me to put me. This camper is I've done a little bit of jail time, and it's almost like being in jail, being in this camper. Jail is actually even better. At least you get, 3 meals a day. Being in here, I laze around, I sleep all day. My mom's always talking down to me. She's always putting me down. When it comes to her nagging me, it's always about just getting a job. Currently, I don't have a job. I really don't even have the motivation to even really want to work right now, because I know the way my mom's gonna act when I start working. My mom used to give me up to $40 a day. She only gave me money because she didn't want me in the house. She just wanted me, out of sight, out of mind. Steal and I'll pawn my parents' things. I've gone into my dad's room. He used to leave his wallet out, and I'd open up the wallet, just take cash right out of the wallet. I stole my mom's anniversary ring, and it was a $10,000 ring. I told my mom I'm depressed, and she told me to just suck it up. That's all she says to me, suck it up. There's no way I cost them $60,000.
How would you know that, JJ? Every time you put a needle in your arm, you don't even remember what you do after that.
You paid for me to do that, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I got the money from you.
No, you stole the money from us.
No, you've given me money, $20 to $50. You
Yeah.
used to give it to me every single day.
Yeah, a long,
You know what I
long
was
time
doing
ago. Well,
So you're doing drugs, right?
Yes.
And it's her fault because she gave you the money to buy them?
Yes.
see?
I'll
You
tell
can't
what,
win with
I'll tell
him.
you what, I've done drugs right in front of her.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
When?
I've smoked meth right in front of you.
Oh.
You might have thought
I don't do it,
THC
so-
oil, but I mean, I still did it. You know what I mean?
Your mom would know
I
that.
would not.
She's never
No,
done
he's-
drugs.
No, she wouldn't know that, but she always saw me come back. I mean, she gave me the money to get it. She saw me do it. Like, she's instigating the lifestyle that I've been living, and this is where I'm at now.
So, and it's my
You've
fault.
helped me dig a hole. You practically gave me the shovel.
JJ,
Oh, hang on a
I've
second.
always done
Hey,
better when I'm not even-
hold on a second. What's your point to all of this? Is it their fault that you're where you are?
I think they play a big part in it.
That's what I'm wanting to know,
Yeah.
because I'm trying to
I mean,
analyze the
I
situation.
definitely made, the bad decisions. Obviously, doing drugs isn't a positive thing. But, I mean, when she knows I'm doing it and she's giving me the money to do it.
When's the last time I gave you money?
Right before the show.
And why did I give it to you? No. Why did I give?
Well, I was supposed to get $500 to be here.
No,
Tell you right now.
no, bull crap.
And you said, oh, yeah, that's fine. I'll do that just to get you on the show. I was like, oh, all right, well, at least give me
So
$500.
she bribed you to come?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I got $20 one day.
So you're not
Didn't
really
go far.
motivated to be here?
No, she bribed me to be here.
Let me ask you this. So they play a big role. So if you get busted for drugs next week,
Yeah.
we should arrest the two of them at the same time.
And who would you call? Mama.
I
Excuse
call
me.
you.
Oh, I'm
I asked
sorry.
him a question, and before he could answer, you interrupted and started going back and forth. And we've already determined you don't know what the hell you're doing. So I'm just asking you, if you get busted for drugs, should they be arrested as well as accomplices?
Yes, yeah.
So you guys should go down with him.
My mom she instigates my lifestyle though. Like she gives me alcohol. Like
did she give you that diamond ring?
No, I took that.
You stole that?
I did, yeah.
Did she give you the laptop?
I didn't steal the laptop. So I left the house with the laptop.
Yes, he did.
No, I didn't steal the laptop. It got left in the back of someone's vehicle. And I just met them because I needed a ride to where I was going. I forgot it in their back seat.
Did he give you the power tools that you...
No, I took those.
You took those?
Yeah, I took
So
those.
you stole the power tools?
Yeah.
And you pawned them?
Yes.
And you stole the wedding ring?
Yes. I didn't know it was a $10,000 ring.
Was there any time during that process that you were under the impression that that diamond ring was yours?
No, I knew it wasn't mine.
At no time when you took it did you think it was yours?
No.
At no time when you sold
in the
it
room.
that you thought it was yours?
No.
So you knowingly took things that weren't yours and you knowingly sold things that weren't yours, converted them to cash, took it and spent it knowing that it was not your money.
No, once I got the cash, I felt like the cash was my money. I mean, I have no money in my pocket, but if I'm high, I feel like $1 million. I don't even need a job when I'm high. Like, I feel great.
JJ's older sister, Jessica, says she's washed her hands of her washed-up brother a long time ago. We're going to meet her after the break.
I think my mom's way too soft on my brother. I'm definitely ashamed of my brother. It's embarrassing. He's a moocher and he's a loser.
And later,
It really is killing me, JJ. You gotta stop. You gotta stop, JJ.
JJ's very violent when he's coming off drugs. He has called me a whore, bad mother, bitch. One time, JJ pulled a knife on Steven.
He reached over, grabbed a steak knife, said he was gonna cut himself. He turned it on me. I grabbed a hold of it, broke the knife free. My wife grabbed it.
Another time, JJ punched his fist through the camper window.
So this is the window I smashed out. I got drunk and angry one night and cut my arm up.
He severed his nerves. There was blood everywhere. JJ does terrify me.
Steven says he kicked his lazy, knife-wielding son out of the house only to find his wife Susan had gone behind his back, bought a camper trailer, and moved JJ into the backyard where he now lives, but still shows no sign of getting any traction, looking for a job, or making his own way. His older sister says that he has perfected the art of playing his mom like a fiddle.
JJ is selfish, lazy, cocky, and ignorant. My brother doesn't do anything. He's a moocher and he's a loser. I think my mom's way too soft on my brother. My parents should drop my brother off at a shelter. My mom enables my brother. She'll kick him out for a couple weeks. He always weasels his way back in. It's the same thing over and over. My mom was letting my brother use her car. She also bought a trailer for him to live in.
I spend a lot of time sleeping in here. I sleep a lot. I got nothing else to do.
She gives him money. My mom definitely buys my brother cigarettes. JJ stole my dad's power tools to buy drugs, and my mom did not press charges and went and rebought the tools. My mom brought the tools back to my dad and said JJ returned them. My mom lied to protect JJ. I am definitely ashamed of my brother. It's embarrassing. JJ is 27 years old and absolutely should be on his own, taking care of his son, not living with my parents. My brother definitely needs tough love at this point in his life. I am done with my brother. It's either you change your life or I'm gone.
Well, thank you for being here. What is your relationship with your brother now? How often do you see him? What do you talk about? How does it go?
We don't really see each other often unless he needs something.
She's a lot like my mom. Like, when she talks to me, I just feel like I'm talking to my mom half the time.
Yeah.
But I don't enable you.
But she's trying to tell you the same thing we're all trying to tell you. You gotta change your life.
Yes, Jay.
Well, I asked for help from you
But
guys.
Jay-
You guys didn't want to help me out.
JJ,
Oh my
we've
God.
done
You're so
JJ,
ridiculous.
We have
Hear
done
yourself.
When I
everything.
broke that window in the camper, I mean, who's feeding me the alcohol that, you know...
You
want me to do
stole
that?
a bottle of gin out of the cupboard. I didn't even know you were drinking.
You started doing drugs, and
Well-
I kept trying to tell you that's not the lifestyle. That's going to lead you down a bad path.
I had a lot of freedom. You guys were really harder on Jesse and Joey. Like,
That's not an excuse.
That's not an
I'm not
excuse.
trying to make an excuse. I'm just saying this is how it is. So I had a car at 15 and a half. I could be out all night. You guys never called to see what I was doing. It didn't really matter. And because I finished high school so fast, I didn't really know how bad drugs even were until I started doing them.
Yeah, but
And
we
once I
weren't
got
raised
hooked,
to steal, JJ.
But he didn't stop you. As many times as I said, JJ, I will do anything to help you stop. It frustrates me, JJ. You know that. Me and you have come to blows. And I never thought that would ever happen between me and my son.
What would you like them to do that they're not doing?
Well, I did ask my mom to send me to rehab, and she can't afford it. But I mean, prior to that, she had sent me to rehab before, and I made it 8 days. It was a really horrible environment. Like, the curriculum wasn't really set up there, so we spent a lot of time on the couch. And in the bedroom I was in, there was bed bugs, so I had like all these bites down my back.
When you were doing
ask
drugs,
that.
you were
You did-
staying
you
in
did
an
not
apartment
ask me
with
to send
bed
you to
bugs and you
rehab.
didn't
Yes, I
care.
did.
When?
Check the text. I've texted you that.
They got all the texts I sent them,
Oh,
and there's
good.
not one that says,
I'm sure
there's
we'll see
lots of
those.
names for
JJ,
me.
every time I've ever asked you to stop and let's get through this, that I can help you to get through this, you say, nope, I like getting high.
Okay.
I want to be high.
My question was specifically, what is it you want them to do that they're not doing? You said you wanted her to send you to rehab, but you went and stayed 8 days, and when he wanted out, you went and picked him up, right?
Yep.
Yes, but...
But hell, what is it you want them to do? What is it you want them to do? What else is it you want them to do that they're not doing?
Well, the way my mom treats me, I mean, I can't even stand it. Like, when I have a job, she tells me I'm not going to keep it.
Am I
Because-
right?
don't.
You don't.
But Dad's the opposite. Dad would be like, I know you're going to keep it this time. That's awesome.
I've tried
you know?
that with you being encouraging.
But it's
They
Hey,
don't
well, you've
want-
never been encouraging. No
JJ,
way.
It doesn't matter.
Jessica.
27.
Okay,
Encourage yourself.
maybe like six, 7 years ago you were
Jesus.
encouraging, but after these last 6, 7 years, you've never been encouraging when I get a job.
But
Okay,
yeah,
you're supposed to be down.
so number
It's like,
two
you don't
is
put me down. Why do you keep my job?
You want them to quit putting you down. Number three,
I have a number 3, kind of on 2 still.
that's it. Just you want them to get you help and be more encouraging.
JJ, will you
I
give
don't
up
know what to
drugs?
do. I know I want
Will
to
you
do better.
give up drugs?
Yeah, I mean,
No, really, will you
not
give
in that
up
camper.
drugs?
I mean, that's the most depressing environment. Like, until I get a drug, I never even feel better.
JJ,
Like, and I keep telling you I'm depressed. Like, I keep telling you that.
Then
Mom,
go
I'm
to the
depressed.
doctors. I'm not Dr. Phil.
Can you bring me to the doctors?
You won't go, though.
Hey, don't roll your eyes when she says Dr. Phil. I don't just play a doctor on TV. JJ says that the food in jail would be preferable to his mom's cooking. Based on,
I don't know if I said. I might have said that.
yes, you did. We have it recorded.
Oh yeah. All right.
That is untrue.
are you kidding?
You haven't tested jail food. You don't know.
You're right.
But based on how you answered the questions to me about knowing that that ring was not yours, knowing that those tools were not yours when you took them and when you sold them and when you converted them to cash that you then possessed and used, it just might be able to be arranged that you could eat jail food. We'll talk about that when we come back. Closed captioning provided by...
My son JJ overdosed 10 plus times. 2 years ago, my husband saw JJ in his room slumped over. He had needles and his lips were blue. JJ was not breathing. He was dead. My husband started screaming. I called 911.
Got me doing CPR. Sometimes I feel maybe JJ would have been better off dying.
I was so scared.
It's not something I normally say out loud. I just keep it in here.
Your fear is that the phone's going to ring and they're going to tell you that your son has been found. We're real sorry, but he didn't make it.
That's what I'm waiting for.
I've been the one twice that's brought him back. And
Well, why? You think I'm better off dying?
no, that's the feeling
With the
inside of
track
me.
you're on, JJ. With the
JJ,
track you're on.
when I see you the way you are, and now you have a son, and I look at you and I say, you know, one day you might be with your son and you do this crap, you do this heroin, and you die, and that poor little boy is going to be there with nobody. He's going to grow up without a father. Do you know how much as a father, it kills me? It kills me. It kills me to lay down at night, in the middle of the night, and I'm thinking, why did I save him? What was the purpose for me saving him? And then I see your little son, okay? Who didn't ask to come in this world. He didn't ask for anything but a father. And I try to be the father for you, and it's killing me. It really is killing me, JJ. You're gonna kill me before I have a chance to enjoy any of my grandchildren. You've gotta stop. You've gotta stop, JJ.
No, I know.
For yourself. Not for me, not for your mother, not for your sister. For yourself and for your son. And you can stop. I know you can. If you want to. But sometimes I just think you don't care. Yeah, you care for the moment to get mom to help you, or give you something, or to convince me that, oh, I'm going to change that, but you don't.
Well, it's because at that time I want to change.
No,
and then
you want to change for the moment because either you're high and you're feeling good, maybe you get a conscience for that moment, but then once it's over, you're right back to it again. And Dr. Phil, I don't know, we got so many, I feel like I'm by myself when I have these feelings, and it's hard because me and my wife, we fight over this so much, and I can't even talk to her. She's don't talk to me about this. I don't want to talk about this. Okay, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about how to help my son. I want to be a part of the solution. Okay, she can't fix it all by herself.
She doesn't know how to fix it.
She doesn't.
I said there was a reason that I agreed to deal with this family. There's a reason that I agreed to talk about this story, because every story that I deal with on this show is a teaching tool. Every story that I deal with here, there's a takeaway for. There's an unknown factor here. And Susan says she is convinced that after 10 years of substance abuse, that JJ's brain could be seriously damaged. Well, is she right? We're going to talk about brain and drugs. We'll be right back. Closed captioning provided by...
My biggest fear is I'm going to lose JJ.
Every day, my wife and I wake up and we worry that we're going to get that phone call that he's dead.
When I overdose, I'm not scared at all. It's a really nice feeling when I overdose.
I fear he is going to die. It's just a matter of time.
Joining us is Dr. Bradley Jabbour. Now, he is the world's leading neuroradiologist with more than 20 years in practice. Now, he did his residency at Stanford University, his radiology fellowship at the University of Southern California and UCLA. He's an expert on the impact of drugs such as heroin on the brain. Now, Dr. Jabbour has pioneered cutting-edge breakthroughs in imaging. And yesterday, I asked him to do a very sophisticated fMRI on JJ's brain at his facility, the Medical Imaging Center of Southern California in Santa Monica. Take a look.
I'm really nervous about today. I'm expecting to just find out what's going on with my brain and my whole body, and I just want to find out why I am the way I am. I'm really not sure what to expect.
Good morning, JJ. What we want to do is try and help you. We're going to be performing a functional MRI today.
I'm really nervous.
Don't be nervous. You're going to be inside a tunnel, and it's going to make a lot of noise. Try not to move. Just relax. The key thing is to let your brain just wander. Now this is very dramatic, by the way. Okay, we are now finished. Let's get him out. You did a great job.
Thank you.
It wasn't that bad, was it? We've got some very good information.
Hope to find out tomorrow what's really going on with me, and find out what I can do to fix it.
Well, Dr. Jabbour, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being part of the show today. This is so important, and it is the reason that I agreed to do this. Tell us what an fMRI is. Everybody's heard of MRI. Tell us what an fMRI is.
So with functional magnetic resonance imaging, we now have a mechanism to see the thinking brain, to analyze the brain not just as a shape, but to actually have a window into how the brain is thinking.
Okay, so in other words, we're able to see what the brain looks like when it's performing certain functions, when it's doing certain things. We have an image up now where this is one of the images, a 3D image that you guys generate in this Star Wars technology you have, where you're basically showing the circuitry of the brain, the wiring of the brain. Let's take a look at the first image and see what we have found here. Now, what we're looking here is at JJ's brain scan. We're talking here about basically you see that his brain is actually shrinking inside the cavity, correct?
Yeah, the analogy is if you imagine a grape, a nice plump, healthy grape. It's got a nice smooth, maybe a little fold here or there, but when it becomes a raisin, it shrinks and develops multiple folds. So really, when you abuse your brain over a long period of time, the brain, just like a grape, will shrink back and you'll see more space between the skull and the brain itself. The white represents fluid, the cerebrospinal fluid, that becomes a bigger space when the brain shrinks.
Okay, so we're talking about these spaces here.
The thing about JJ's brain is it's very prominent in the frontotemporal area, the very important area for executive function, where you think and plan your life.
This is the most sophisticated part of the brain.
We have an indication that there's going to be some more abnormalities as we delve into the scan in more detail.
So if he stops this at this point, is it too late? Okay, tell us what we're seeing here. We have JJ's brain on this side, a normal brain on the other side.
So if you think of the brain as a machine, this is a measure of the flow of blood to the brain. A normal brain in a right-handed person should have dominant activity on the left. Now, the red represents good function, more. Blue and black mean less. So between red and blue, you have orange and yellow, so there's this grade of activity. So you have good activity throughout the left brain in this normal person who's right-handed. You can see that in JJ, just immediately, that there's much less red activity. The engine is not working.
Let's take a look at this, which is the brain at rest.
When the patient's in that scanner and they're not thinking about anything, just letting their brain ruminate, you should only have, in the normal population, the green represents what the footprint of the default mode network would be in a normal population. In JJ, he has multiple default mode networks instead of just one. And each of those networks is hyper connected, which is an indication that he has disrupted brain networks. And this means that the computers in the brain, many different computers hooked to each other, the computers are just not talking to each other.
This indicates, because this yellow should be not visible, this should be smaller than what we have green, which means the default network is disrupted. His networking is not right. Let's go back to the image right before this. Here we see metabolically he is disrupted because he is not getting enough oxygen and other activity metabolically in the brain, particularly in the executive functions. And if we can go to the image right before, we can see that the brain is actually shrinking inside the cavity here.
Yes.
So the brain is shrinking, the metabolic activity in the brain is shut down, and the networking in the brain is disrupted. Okay, let's have a seat, because I have a very important question for you, and this is what you guys need to be really interested in. Is it too late? If there's a past guest you want us to catch up with, let us know. Go to drphil.com for more information. Thank you. We'll see you soon.